Hello, everyone. It's San Diego Comic Con, and very exciting weekend always. And we have a lot to cover today. We're gonna break down the biggest news stories to come out of San Diego Comic Con 2026, and Marvel's return to Hall H is the main headliner. But other companies like Apple TV, um, Amazon, DC, Paramount, Nintendo, and Sony are also worth discussing. Um, I'm Sam Red. This is Red Carpet Talk. Today I'm lucky to be joined by Sam as well. Macias, is that how you say your last name?
Yes,
Right?
Macias.
Okay, Macias. Okay, so say hi to everyone.
Hello, you beautiful, lovely, gorgeous individuals. I'm excited to be here with Sam here today. This is a fun day. You get two Sams for the price of one here. It's gonna be a fun time talking about everything that happened at Comic Con, literally just now
Um,
too.
I'm just gonna make sure we're streaming properly, but everyone in the comments can hear us hopefully. I'm pretty sure we started. But yeah. Oh, it says it's. I don't think we're live yet, which is bizarre.
Are we not? Hmm.
I think we are live. Yeah, I
Okay, I
think
thought
we
we
are
were.
live.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
Yeah, okay, we are live. Yeah, sorry, I don't. I got confused for a second. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's get back on track.
Alrighty.
Um, yeah, it might be delayed. So yeah, let's get started. There's so much to discuss right now. Let's start with Marvel. What do you want to get into first? There's so much to unpack with Marvel.
Let's go in order. First of all, Ghost Rider finally confirmed. We are getting Ryan Gosling as Johnny Blaze and Sean Levy directing the movie. I was not expecting Sean Levy to be the director for the movie, but and it's something that we were talking about during the panel. Is it kind of makes sense keeping him and Ryan kind of together if they're having such a great time with Starfighter. Keep them together. Keep that winning formula together. So I'm excited to see Ghost Rider finally confirmed with an awesome logo too, by the way.
Yeah, I like the red design, and I like that Gosling came on stage with the red jacket
Mm-hmm.
as well. I mean, he's just cool. I was really hoping the rumors were true, and even though I predicted he was most likely going to show up on stage, it still was just awesome. I mean, the two I was hoping to see is him and Denzel. We didn't get Denzel, but I'll take Gosling. That was cool enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but the logo, it kind of has like a 70 feel to it. Like I don't know, to me, it has like an old school style movie poster feel. It's
I
just
did.
that's just me, and it looks
I didn't look too much into it, but it looks like a Hot Wheels logo from what I saw.
mm,
The Ghost Rider
yeah,
logo. That's more what I was thinking of. I think it's interesting. This is Levy's next project after Deadpool and Wolverine with Marvel, and I know outside of Marvel, he has the Madonna Limited series that he's working on. So I
oh
guess
yeah,
he has time to work on a movie, even though he's busy with that, which is kind of crazy. Since that also seems to be a very like intense project to work on,
mm-hmm.
um, covering a lot of years of Madonna. But getting back on track, it's yeah, I'm just flabbergasted by the Sean Levy pick of it all. It's not that I dislike his movies, but it's just so interesting that he's the pick. I think people were anticipating like a Midnight Sun movie, a Blade
Yeah.
that maybe Blade could be in as well as Ghost Rider, but it seems like they're just sticking with Ghost Rider only as a solo movie. So very interesting. That to me, I feel like is one of the key news stories, as well as Black Panther 3 and David Johnson
Oh
being
yeah.
announced as T'Challa's son. That's like another crazy story. I think people were predicting Damson Idris. So the fact that we
Mm-hmm.
got um, David Johnson, and the David Johnson of it all is crazy because from what it sounds like they mentioned Long Walk as being one of his memorable titles, which is kind of a
Yeah.
tease since people were expecting like Cooper Hoffman to possibly be Cyclops for X-Men. So the fact that
Right?
they said Long Walk and David Johnson came out for Black Panther 3 is just crazy to me. Um, yeah, I was not expecting him to be joining the MCU, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that was a name I was not expecting at all either. And everyone was, speculating Damus Idris. That's how I say his name, right? Damus
Damson
Idris.
Idris, I think.
Damson Idris. Yeah, everyone was saying he was going to pick, which would have been a great pick too if they went that route. Would not be upset at all. But going the David Johnson route, I love. He was one of my favorite parts from the Long Walk movie because he was absolutely stellar in it. And it's kind of exactly what you said with the Cooper Hoffman of it all being rumored earlier in the week. It kind of the stars are a little bit lining up too. It's like, why not? I can now see that rumor of him as Scott to going from 50% to more 75% maybe accurate.
Yes, if they're checking out other actors from The Long Walk, then Cooper
Hmm.
Hoffman isn't totally out of the question because he is an upcoming actor right now. There's so many like names being thrown around for the X-Men. We didn't get any X-Men official movie, possibly because Spider-Man Brand New Day could be teasing that. What we did get from Spider-Man Brand New Day was apparently they played a scene. John Barenthal walked on stage, and then they played a
Hmm.
clip from the movie, him and Spider-Man interacting or something like that.
Yeah, that's
And
what we're seeing and hearing, and I'm really interested to see how the John Bernthal of it all fits into Spider-Man because having him go from his very hard R one-shot special, well, with Punisher One Last Kill to Spider-Man, it's gonna be interesting to see how you not exactly tone down the Punisher Frank Castle, but how he fits in that kind of world.
so that one we knew we were going to get info for most likely because even before this, there was new toys dropping. There was like
Hmm.
a panel with Michael Giacchino and his son. His son is working on Vision Quest, the TV show with Vision and James Spader's
Yeah.
Ultron. So there was a tease of the score for both that show, but then also Spider-Man Brand New Day. They showed a scene at that panel for the composers a couple days ago, and then someone posted online, but then they had to get taken down right away. So that's basically all the Spider-Man news. No, we still don't know who Sadie Sink is after all this, but we probably
Nope.
will next week. So I'm
Yeah,
not too
that's
upset
true.
about that
And
personally.
no, no, and I got not a bad feeling, but I have a feeling that someone is gonna see it at a screening and they're gonna slip it out, and then once
I'm
it gets
nervous
slipped out,
too.
and yeah, every news site is gonna run with it. It's, oh my God, Sadie Sink is insert character's name. So, but yeah, it makes sense. We didn't get any X-Men casting confirmed or anything like that because we still got the old cast in Doomsday, which we'll talk about that in a sec. We still have Spider-Man coming out next week, which if we're all pretty much assuming Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. So it'd be smart to hold off on any X-Men announcements until maybe D23 or maybe Comic Con next year because there's no rush to do this at all.
Yeah, we'll see if it ends up happening D23. I know you and I plan to cover that next month as well.
Mm-hmm.
Disney announces a lot of their news stories, and they specifically said that they were going to hold off on any news for their Disney Plus TV shows until next month for that. But let's get into
Yeah,
Doomsday since you brought it up quickly. So why not just get into it? All those
let's
people
get
on
into it. Yeah.
stage, most of them we knew were in the movie already. I think the only one we didn't know, but you can kind of guess based on Chris Evans returning in the trailer, was Haley Atwell, which was really
Mm-hmm.
cool. I do know there was some people. We gotta also talk about the Latvian witches because basically there was
Yes.
a booth for Marvel with all the Doomsday costumes. There was
Mm-hmm.
characters like Sam Wilson, Sue Storm, and then there was a costume for the Latvian witch. It was green. The next day, the costume was yellow, and then the next day, the costume was purple. Today, the costume turned into a Doom statue. So there's something going on with these Latvian witches. The question is, who are they? Are they just Doom bots, or are they notable faces? People thought they were going to reveal who the faces were possibly during this panel. That didn't happen. so they could be keeping it for later. But it's still an interesting thing of like, is there going to be anyone who that we know in the Marvel universe who is a witch that could be those characters? Like for the Green, there's Sylvie. There's what's her name? Aubrey Plaza's character in Agatha All Along, I think, also has green.
Yes.
And
Yes, that's
then,
yep.
and then there's, and then with purple, it could be Charlize Theron's Clea, or it
Hmm.
could be Agatha. The yellow, I think, Ancient One is the only one we know that really wears
I
yellow, but I don't think it is her. So
no, I
it
think I
is a
saw
memorable
something like it
face.
was. I think I saw something that it was maybe it was Sue who was the yellow one, maybe.
But so it'd be a variant of Sue, in your opinion.
Yeah,
Interesting
yeah, like I'm
theory.
very
Huh.
interested.
I saw people
I did.
speculating it might be Peggy, and I was like, Peggy's a witch in some
Mm,
version? I didn't even know that. And then Haley Atwell went on stage, so I don't think it is her. Um, but and then Morgan Le Fay is just a cool character.
oh
I've seen her
yeah.
in Marvel's Runaways, the TV show. Um, she's a famous character from King Arthur lore in general. A ton of people
Hmm.
have played her over the years, including Helen Mirren outside of Marvel. And then, but Marvel has their own take on Morgan Le Fay slash Morgana, depending on which iteration of the character you come across in pop culture. She has a
Yeah,
couple names. So, yeah. So it could be someone interesting like that as well. But yeah, I want
I did.
to hear what you
There's
have to
another
say
one
about that
which
in Doomsday.
I think there was one where I was kind of on board with this theory where what one of those witches could have been also Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, which it's possible. I do see maybe them incorporating her in this movie, and a lot of people thought she was going to show up during the panel as a surprise, like Gosling and David Johnson was. But yeah, I can't. I don't know if they're saving that for the movie itself, but I can see Wanda being one of those witches.
And the chances are a little lower now because they didn't even reveal a Red Witch. They only
Yeah,
have Doom
true. Yeah.
now. So we'll see what ends up happening. If it's Wanda, if maybe they're throwing us off and it is Wanda and like Aubrey Plaza and Agatha, it could just be as simple as that. But also, those are Disney Plus characters, so I don't know if they're gonna
Mm,
want to confuse people who
true.
only watch the movies and didn't watch that show per se. So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening with that. And they released a poster, right, for Doomsday.
Yes, it's just a solo Doom poster, and I swear that looks amazing. He is looking like one of the most menacing villains that Marvel's gonna have in recent memory. It's looking really good.
It was also cool to see
It,
like all the stars on stage. Um,
mm-hmm.
Lewis Pullman wasn't really in the last trailer that much, so I'm glad he was on stage and kind of prominent. More so, I think he is in the background in the trailer. Someone pointed it out to me, but he isn't
Yeah,
in this. And then
yeah,
Deadpool.
him. Oh yes, Deadpool. Oof.
What were you gonna say about Deadpool, or do you want me to talk?
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead. My bad. I threw off the flow.
No, no worries. No, so Deadpool, they have the Great Deadpool, and it seems like Deadpool might be in Doomsday, which is
Hmm.
they were teasing it, but which is interesting that he was kind of in the Doomsday section of the panel, rather than holding him off and tease him for like Secret Wars or his own projects, since we know Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds has his own movie he's working on. I heard people speculate that his gray Deadpool suit was like the X Force
Hmm.
suit. Are you familiar with that at all
Yeah.
or no?
A little bit. It looks like the X-Force suit that he wore, and also kind of looked like the Ash suit he was wearing in Deadpool 2 at the very end of that movie, where it was all pretty much all grayed out. But yeah, it was interesting how they kept him in the Doomsday part of the panel, which also I don't know if you noticed this, or we didn't talk about it, but they mentioned in that little sizzle reel that they did at the beginning of the panel, they were including almost all the movies that Marvel has done, including the X Men, the original X Men, and Tobey Maguire's Spider Man in the sizzle reel. So I have a feeling that not only Deadpool is in it, maybe Hugh Jackman, but also Tobey Maguire
Yep, that's
Spider-Man
the
is
rumor
in
on the
this
block right now.
Doomsday. Yeah. So it kind of just
It's
makes sense. You're
true.
slowly, slowly putting all the seeds in without telling you. They're telling you without telling you.
For sure. I'm trying to see if there's any other big Marvel things. Something I forgot to mention with Vision Quest is people were speculating if we were going to get a trailer for the Comic Con.
Hmm.
We did not. I think they're holding that off for D23 most likely. And Kevin Feige, he always tends to wear a hat when he comes out on stage. Notably, he was wearing Doomsday, so that seemed to be his main focus for all of this. And I know some people were betting he was maybe going to wear an X-Men hat,
Yeah.
and they're definitely holding off on that for now. There were so many titles that people were like speculating were going to be in this panel possibly. Were they going to announce a Shang-Chi 2? A whatever's going on with Deadpool. Nova's in the works.
Hmm.
There was a recent announcement with that. Um, and what else? Thor 5. Some people are speculating might be in the works. Doctor Strange 3. Some people are speculating it is in the works. I don't think a Thunderbolts 2 or Fantastic Four 2 is in the works because those characters are too prominent in Doomsday. But
Yeah.
yeah, we ended up getting Black Panther 3, as we mentioned earlier, and Ghost Rider ended up being like the two projects slated for 2028.
Yeah, and we got a confirmed date for Black Panther 3 in the end of December. I think it was December 18th that they said, or was it
So
15th?
did they? So no, I think it was the 18th. So did they not
Okay.
give an official date? They gave a year, but not an official date for Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it was just a year for Ghost Rider, which, if I have to guess,
That's
if
so bizarre.
Black Panther 3 is in December, then I have to assume you might do Ghost Rider in the summertime, maybe like July, June, because I don't think there's any other titles in 2028 for Marvel. Let me just double check and
Yeah, I don't know
see.
if they're gonna do February, since sometimes Marvel, like Deadpool, likes to come out in February. Black Panther likes to be in February. I think Captain
Yeah.
America, Brave New World was February, but I don't think they're gonna do that with Ghost Rider.
Okay, so I just pulled this up. Marvel has a theatrical slot saved for July 28th, 2028. So that could be the Ghost Rider date for them.
July is what you just said.
Yeah, July. Yeah,
Okay.
July 28th.
Okay, so we have to wait till July. That's the first project after Secret Wars, is what they
Mm-hmm.
said. And then, as I said before, all the Disney Plus TV shows are going to be pushed off to D23 most likely, and we'll get more
Yeah.
news on like Daredevil Born Again season 3, maybe Marvel Zombies, maybe X-Men 97. Trying to think. Wonder Man season 2.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably get updates on all of that at D23 next month. Um, have you heard about the Marvel's Wolverine game at all?
A little bit of it. I was trying to keep up with it because they had a panel for it this weekend. It looks like, from what I read, it's going to be mostly in a world where there's no X-Men and it's just Wolverine going through like his journey.
That's an interesting. And then I think they might be teasing a Jean and Logan relationship in that game,
Yeah.
from what I heard.
Yeah, because
There
we
was
do
a
see Jean showing up in the game.
Yeah, they dropped the trailer for that this week. And another thing I thought was cool was there was a booth for the game and people could like take pictures with the claws, which I thought was cool
Oh,
if they wanted to.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, that seems to be the consensus. Everyone's shocked about Ryan Gosling right now. That's fair. Um,
No, for real.
I'm a bit confused. Did they give any updates on that dumb Avengers Endgame Encore nonsense? Infinity Vision?
um, nothing for Infinity Vision itself, but they just gave a release date that I think it was September 25th
Didn't
is
we
when
already
Avengers
know that though?
Encore.
That's why I was confused
I
when
think
I
so.
heard people
I
talk about it.
I think if coming from them, they're saying it like it's coming out on this day. because they want to be the ones to announce it or whatever. But yeah, there it's coming out in September with about 7 minutes of additional footage. And they didn't mention this part, but from what we've been hearing, we're going to get an end credit scene that will lead in from Endgame to Doomsday.
Yeah, there's 7 minutes of footage that's attached to that Avengers Encore, and the question right now is,
Yeah.
are they going to be retconning that really great ending with Peggy and Cap and add a scene that possibly undermines all of that, which is such a solid ending to the Infinity
Mm-hmm.
Saga? Or is it going to just be like a post credits or just like the first 7 minutes of the movie? Since they've been doing that a lot lately, where for example, with Dune Part 3 or like Mando and Grogu, they show like the first like 15 minutes or minutes or so
Yeah.
to like random fans, and then or just even critics, and then later on they you can see the full movie. So I'm curious if it's just the first 7 minutes of Doomsday, honestly. Rather than, but if it's a true extended version that like undercuts the ending of the previous movie, I'm kind of gonna be a little bit annoyed with that, to be honest.
That's fair. That's fair. And I think from what I understand, they're going to be including deleted scenes that wasn't in the original movie when it first came out. Like there's one deleted scene where Tony has a talk with Morgan, his daughter, after he snapped his finger. So they might include that scene in this part, in this encore. And that scene's like about almost 2 minutes long, I think.
We'll see. And then besides, sorry, I'm going back to the video game realm. I just realized, I think
You're
there
good.
might be another Marvel game in the works besides Marvel's Wolverine as well. I think Marvel Token or something like that was the name of it. I
Oh yeah.
wasn't familiar with it at all. Do you
Yeah,
know
it's like a
anything about that?
not much. I know it's kind of like a fighting style game, kind of like in the realm of Street Fighter and Tekken sort of thing, but with Marvel characters. So I'm I'm a sucker for fighting games like that. So I'm interested in that. We're looking forward to that
Yeah, I
one.
heard they were releasing characters for that, like that were going to be in the game as well. I feel like we covered basically everything that dropped news wise for Marvel. I mean, of course, there's stuff like outside of the Sony realm, the Spider Man movies that we still are like desperately waiting to learn more about, like Beyond the Spider Verse.
Hmm.
But that I knew we weren't gonna get anything at this Comic Con for that.
No, no, and it makes sense not to literally do anything for Spider-Man unless you drop like maybe a clip like they did, and that was pretty much it. Because it's literally just next week. It's like less than a week now.
Is there anything else Marvel wise you want to cover
Um,
or
I
say?
don't think so. I think we covered. I think we hit all the bullet points when it comes to Marvel. Yeah, because there's nothing else. We didn't get anything TV wise. That again, we won't get nothing until D23.
Yeah, Infinity Vision's the
But
only
yeah,
one we got a brief update on, but it was mostly score wise.
yeah,
They
mostly
didn't.
score, and that's pretty
I
much
feel
it.
like everything they said about the story we kind of already knew of, like it's kind of gonna be a father son story and with Ultron and Vision kind of thing, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
kind of philosophical, like they did with the end of WandaVision with Vision and with the White Vision character. So yeah, I not much
yeah.
new news with that.
No, no, and I think Kevin Feige said it's going to be the end of the Wanda saga that they started with WandaVision.
Yeah, they started with WandaVision, Agatha all along, and then
Hmm.
they're ending with this.
Which I'm excited for. I'm looking forward to this Vision show. I wasn't so on board with it at first, but the more they kept adding, the more people they got on for the show. I'm like, okay, okay, I can be persuaded, and we're probably gonna get a trailer for it next month too for D23. So that could even up my ante for anticipation for that as well.
Yeah, we'll see. Are you okay if I move on to like
Yeah,
other studios? Okay.
yeah, let's
So
do it. You're,
Apple
you're running the show
TV.
here.
I have not. I didn't really pay much attention to the Apple TV panel. I know that there were stars there for like movies like Matchbox, like John Cena, and
Hmm.
then Ryan Reynolds was there for Mayday and for Deadpool, the
Yeah.
Marvel panel, and there was a Silo pop up like activation. But did you hear much else about Apple TV beyond that?
Not really, no. I mean, they only talked about like Dark Matter, Silo, the Matchbox movie, Widow's Bay, and Mayday, and that's pretty much it. Not a lot of like big breaking news or anything like that. Just, the panels coming in, stars coming in and talking about, yeah, how great this show movie is. So, yeah, nothing like amazing to like melt your brain or something like that.
Yeah, they couldn't do updates for Pluribus or Severance at all.
Yeah. Or even the
So
studio.
true. Yeah, you're right. Or like, yeah, I guess Shrinking is another. Yeah, there's a
Mhm.
lot of shows they have now that I think about
There's
it.
a lot of shows. It's funny. They picked the shows I think people aren't really familiar with, so they did it here at the Hall H panel to get more maybe traction on it. And the shows that people are most excited for wasn't at the panel. So I don't know. Maybe that was just a strategy they were trying to do.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have too much to say beyond that. What about you?
Not honestly, not much besides that too either.
So we can move on to Amazon. Um,
Amazon it
I
is.
know God of War had stars, and I know there was other shows. Well, Deborah Ann Woll, and I know some people are speculating since she plays Karen and Daredevil Born Again. They're like, oh, is she gonna show up at the Marvel panel? But I knew that was not gonna happen because I knew we were gonna get our Daredevil updates at D23 instead. Um, so yeah, but I'm not a huge gamer, but it seems like they were announced. She's like she's a part of the new game, and the character looks a lot like her design wise from what I
Yeah,
saw.
that's what I heard. Yeah.
For me, the bigger news, I know they had the Rings of Power cast were there for season 3. I saw the guy, I forgot his name. He was DJing, and I thought that was really funny. That clip, I don't know if you
Hmm.
saw him DJing. It was
I've,
pretty
I haven't
funny.
seen I haven't seen that clip yet.
And I think they dropped the Rings of Power trailer. But to me, the one I was more
Hmm.
interested in TV show wise was Blade Runner 2099.
Yeah.
Did you watch that trailer
I
at
saw the
all?
trailer. I did. That looked very interesting, very intriguing. I'm not the biggest Blade Runner fan per se. I know you can throw stones at me, people, but this trailer looks interesting. I'm very intrigued by how they do this now.
I was a bit confused what the story was with the Blade Runner 2029 trailer. And then when I realized
Hmm.
it's going to be 50 years after and humans are on the run instead of replicants, and the replicants are
Hmm.
after humans, and Hunter Schafer's character is a human pretending to be a replicant in order to survive. I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. I didn't fully
Yeah,
understand that in the trailer, but then when I read the concept more afterwards, I was like, okay, that sounds promising and has potential.
it kind of flips the script too on the whole like replicants running away from the humans and everything. So it's very interesting how they're gonna be playing with that.
She seems so excited to promote the show
Yeah,
finally. And like Michelle Yeoh was talking a lot about how Hunter's doing her own stunts and is really putting a lot of effort into it. We know Michelle Yeoh can do action and has
oh
worked with
yeah,
people like Jackie Chan and like is up there for like one of the best stunt people ever really, or just people in action ever, who does their own stunts. But so her complimenting Hunter Schafer is really interesting, and her saying like Hunter did not care if like she was going hard on her knees and stuff like that. The other thing that stood out to me is I just felt so bad since Hunter Schafer kept being bombarded with like euphoria questions constantly.
yeah.
And like you could tell she's trying to like move past that, especially since the show just ended. But I guess it's fair to ask because the show just ended and it's
Yeah, it
still
is. But at the same time, she is there to promote 2099. So it would have been nice for some of the people to be like interested in the show she's there to promote and everything. But I
yeah.
kind of, yeah, I guess. I don't
She
know.
seems like a
That's
genuine
just,
fan. Yeah,
oh, yeah,
sorry, continue.
absolutely. Oh no, you're good, you're good.
She seemed like a genuine fan that was like so excited to join this universe, and like even Michelle Yeoh was like, even if I wasn't part of this show, I'd be watching the Blade Runner movies over and over again regardless. So I thought it was so cool to see Hunter Schafer and Michelle Yeoh be like legit Blade Runner fans and be excited to be joining this universe. I really hope Prime Video does this justice the way that like people felt they did a good job of like Fallout, for instance. So
Hmm.
we'll see. I know more people will
Yeah,
make some
definitely.
like IP like Rings of Power initially, so I hope it's not like that.
Hopefully
Um,
not. I mean, hopefully Rings of Power this season three can really step it up because they got Simon Pegg to join the cast as the Belrock, which that's going to be interesting to see. Eddie Marson is now part of the cast as Theron, I believe is how I pronounce that name. So they got some interesting people joining this season three for Rings of Power, and I can only imagine how it's going to play out.
yeah. You know what's the TV show no one seemed to care about, which I think says a
What's
lot,
that?
and nobody seemed to cover it, is the new Carrie show
Oh yeah, is
that
that
Mike
Prime or
Flanagan's working on.
is that that's on Prime or is that I thought that was on Paramount?
I think the new Carrie show, I believe it is. I think it's. Let me double check, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Prime Video. Yeah,
Okay.
Mike Flanagan, Prime Video. I was kind of
Damn.
shocked to learn that they were attached to this project, to be honest. Especially Mike
Right?
Flanagan has such a good track record with like Netflix, so it's very
Mm-hmm.
confusing to me. But the fact that they had a presence, I mean, not presence, since let's be honest, no one was acknowledging it at all. But the fact that they were at San Diego Comic Con and like nobody was talking about it, I don't think it's a good sign for the show at all.
Yeah. It
I
kind
like the
of
original.
I
Yeah,
kind of
sorry,
wonder if
continue.
they're like hide. No, oh no, you're good. You're good. I wonder if they're kind of like hiding the show now because I've been not. We haven't been hearing a lot about anything on it, and it's probably not going to be the best thing to come out. Which I don't know. Does that worry you for Clayface? Because we know Mike Flanagan is involved in Clayface.
I'm less worried about Clayface because I think his TV projects and his movie projects are two separate things. Um, I will say he is stronger in the TV realm. The his fandom for his Netflix shows are very hardcore, and they really love his projects. I feel like I would be if this is his first TV show that is kind of fumbles. It's going to be unfortunate to see. I movie wise, I feel like he's not really known for movies as much.
Yeah.
I do like Doctor Sleep. I know some people don't like that as a sequel to The Shining. I saw Life of Chuck, and I did not like that movie. I know some people loved it, but I just did not like that movie. But Mike Flanagan, I think it's important to note when it comes to Clayface, he's attached as a writer, not a director. James Watkins is the director for Clayface.
Okay,
And he did
that makes
the
sense.
Speak No Evil remake with James McAvoy.
Okay.
So I think, I mean, everything I've seen with Clayface so far, that's more so in the DC realm than Amazon. But everything I've seen with Clayface is good in my book so far.
Yeah,
So I'm
same.
not
I
worried.
am excited for that movie.
We can get into that more later on. I'm was Invincible at this Comic Con?
No, they really did do a lot of animated stuff during this Comic Con. Like we didn't get anything Invincible, nothing from the Helloverse for Hasbin or Hell of a Boss, nothing for Batman Crusade. I don't think maybe there was. I missed it, but
Kid
yeah,
Crusader?
Crusader. Yeah, Crusader, Batman Crusader. Yeah, not a lot of things on the animation side. Nothing for Mighty Nine. Nothing for Vox Machina, which makes sense. Vox Machina just ended, but yeah, interesting. They kept the animation side on a low on this Comic Con.
Movie wise, I know they had a Spaceballs panel, but like no one was talking
Yes.
about it. And I've been digging all of the stuff I've seen so far, Spaceball wise. So I wish more people were talking about it, since I want to know if anything interesting came out of it. But like no one seems to be covering it as much. I knew we
From
weren't
what
gonna
I
get.
read,
Yeah, sorry.
sorry, from what I read, I think it was the best panel before the Marvel panel. Like it was the best panel that everyone saw. Yeah. And they did this thing where I thought it's so super freaking clever, and it's only in that Spaceballs kind of humor where they did their phases. They did phase one. They're showing the movies for phase one, phase two, all the way to phase nine. It's just it's so freaking hilarious, so clever. I'm so excited for Spaceballs.
Okay, that's really funny that they did that. Okay. That
Yeah.
I was expecting them to make good jokes because everything they've been doing so far has been working for me. Like the fact that they're
Mm-hmm.
making fun of sequels with the colon in their title, and they just straight up called the movie Spaceballs a new one because just to show you how stupid those subtitles
Mm-hmm.
are. The fact that they came up with a plot, they released a plot synopsis on like Letterboxd and just publicly that threw shade at like Mandalorian and Grogu. Like
Yeah.
I'm just digging everything they're doing so far. So they should just keep
And
it up.
oh yeah, and they're not afraid to go there too. It's like they know what they are, and just they just like to keep digging and digging, and just let's have fun with it. And
It's
it's I
solid satire.
solid. Yes.
I'm a huge fan of the original. Um,
Same.
the other, I mean, I knew we were not gonna get anything James Bond, to be honest. Even though Amazon owns the rights to that, I think they're still figuring out casting. And in general, they don't really show up at San Diego Comic Con, so like, that's another casting that to me, after everyone's so caught up in the X-Men casting, but once that is finished, I think people are gonna jump and move on back to like who's the next Bond and be
Yeah.
interested in that.
Plus, I think Denis Villeneuve is still working on Dune. So, like, I think after he's done with Dune, they're gonna start. He's gonna go full force into Bond.
That's for sure. I know Masters of the Universe, there was like a Skeletor
Mm.
toy that they were dropping at Comic Con that I heard a little bit of buzz about. Um, it was like, I think the Jim Bro version of Skeletor or something
Yeah.
like that.
It sounds like a Mike Kalinowski toy. Yeah.
But I feel like that's everything I heard regarding Amazon. Am I missing anything, or do you feel like
I don't think so. Yeah, no, yeah, nothing else besides like nothing about Spider Noir or anything else, like any other movies that they're working on. So I think that's pretty much it for Amazon.
yeah, they have some good movies in the works too, like Thomas Crown Affair with
Yeah.
Michael Jordan directing it
I
with
think
Audrey Arjona.
from what I've heard, like we're supposed to get a trailer for that in a couple weeks too.
I'm good. I mean, they showed footage at CinemaCon in March
Hmm.
or April, I believe. But so I'm not surprised if whatever they showed at CinemaCon they drop in a few weeks for Thomas Crown Affair.
Yeah,
But are you okay with moving on to the next studio now?
let's do it. Yeah.
So DC. DC was interesting. I feel like people are like they're gonna be more quiet this year and hold back from their movies. My question is, did they actually hold back and not announce anything movie wise, or was that kind of a lie?
Yeah, nothing movie wise from James Gunn's hand or anything like that. They did do a Lanterns panel at Hall H, and they showed a new trailer, which the trailer looks amazing. Really looking forward to that show now. Yeah, nothing really, heart stopping or anything like that. There was a lot
Can
of
we talk
animation
about the
stuff that they
trailer
did.
for a bit? Sorry.
Yeah, let's talk about it, please.
Before we get into the animation stuff, since you
Yeah.
said you liked the trailer, I my thing that I've been saying this whole time, they keep teasing that Lanterns is going to be a true detective kind of show.
Mm-hmm.
So slow pacing is boring to convey in a trailer, in my opinion. So I knew this show is most if it is good, it's most likely going to be a slow build, and you have to just watch it for yourself to judge. So for
Yeah.
me, at least, I felt like no trailer was going to do justice to it. I know people are more satisfied with this trailer than the previous trailers. I'm different, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't understand how it's that much different, but everyone else seems to be like, it's completely different, and I'm on board now, and I'm like, I don't understand, but okay. I'm like,
I think because now we're getting a little more of the maybe of the story, maybe because in this trailer we got confirmation of the Manhunters, the Martian Manhunters, are on
no, it's
Earth.
not
So we're
Martian
gonna get.
Manhunter though. That's the thing that's
Mm,
confusing to me. Is
I
I
don't
thought it
know.
was
They said
Martian
Manhunters.
Manhunter. They did, and I thought it
They
was Martian Manhunter and John Jones, and then I realized there's another group called the Manhunters that were like the guardians of
ooh
the universe before the Lanterns
ooh
were, and it's super
okay.
confusing because then I got excited for Martian Manhunter and John Jones to pop up, and he's not even in it, and I'm like, damn.
Huh, interesting. Okay, because we did see that in the trailer. There's a shot of one of them holding a skull that kind of looks
Yeah,
alien-like, and then we
that's what I
see
thought
like something
too.
trans. Yeah, we see something transforming in that trailer. So we not maybe when we'll get we probably won't get John Jones specifically, but maybe a Martian will be showing up. Maybe a white Martian. They're usually the more evil kind of versions of them of the Manhunters. So
But
it
yeah,
could be yeah, it
but
could be a totally different Manhunter in the DC lore.
yeah, since Manhunters, from what I've discovered, is apparently like they're robots. So I was like, what? That's not what I thought they were at all.
Oh,
Like,
okay. If you're going that route, because that just clicked into like an old episode of the Justice League where there was Manhunter robots and they're going up against the Guardians and the Green Lanterns. So okay, I can see that now the piece is connecting. Okay. Now I'm okay. Now I'm really intrigued for this show. I'm really intrigued for this show now.
yeah. And so Lanterns, besides the trailer that they dropped, I mean, what's his name? Right? They had Nathan Fillion crash the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they had, of course, Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre. And Aaron Pierre looks so excited to be a superhero
Dude.
and to be part of the
Oh
DC
yeah.
universe. He was like showing off his jacket with the quote from like the Lantern's quote. And then he had
Mm-hmm.
his like green shoes on. Like he was just so hyped to be there and to play Jon Stewart. And I really hope this project is good and people like it and are not giving him crap the way they do like Millie Alcock, since that would be unfortunate when he seems to be such a
Yeah.
fan and really excited. Um, Something that stood out to me, well, besides Nathan Fillion just crashing and completely looking different than Guy Gardner's hair. It was I
Yeah.
forgot his natural hair for a second, and then I saw him, and I'm like, wow, he's a really good actor. But besides that, I forgot her full name, Porna, and then I forgot her last name. It's a hard name to pronounce. I know her from Never Have I Ever, and she was in the show Deli Boys.
Mm.
She seems not to be a fan of superhero stuff at all, and she kept teasing that. And instead, it seems like the only superhero thing she's really watched is Linda Carter as Wonder Woman, and is not interested in the genre at all. But she said the script was really good, and even though she's not a superhero person, it made her really intrigued, and it's just really good writing. So we'll
At least
see.
she openly admits it and not trying to fake it. So I give her points on that, just being that upfront with it.
And then I think they confirmed Laura Linney is going to be like a guardian
Hmm. Yep, they
officially.
did confirm that.
So yeah, I'm holding hope for it because Damon Lindelof is attached, and he did
Yes.
Watchmen with HBO, which is
Hmm.
such a good show, and
Love that show.
that won Emmys for them, and it's just I mean I can rant about the HBO Watchmen series for a bit, but I'm not going to. But I don't think you can bet against this when that exists. But then also Penguin is such a good show,
True, yeah.
which is also HBO. I Peacemaker I don't watch. It's just not my vibe as much. Some
That's
people
fair.
love Peacemaker. Some people don't like season 2 as much. I'm aware though that it exists, but like in regards to Penguin and Watchmen, as I said before, they have a good track record. So I'm not betting against them yet, and I hope I really like this show. honestly.
I think the distinction between those shows is that Penguin and I'm pretty sure Lanterns, they're both made on the HBO side, where Peacemaker was made on the Max side, the HBO Max side. So that's like the two different differentialities between them shows, which I think watching the trailer, I kind of get that feeling of the HBO side, especially where we saw that scene where Hal was talking to Sinestro. Sinestro asks, Sinestro asks, tells him, tell me who he really is. And Hal says, my replacement. And he says that in such disdain. It gets me thinking, oh, are they setting up Parallax Hal Jordan maybe future down the line? Because we do see in some storylines in DC where Hal goes bad. So I don't know if that's something
We'll
they're
see.
teasing this early. So who knows?
Either that or Kyle Chandler's how Jordan gets killed off. That's what people keep
Mm,
speculating. But
yeah.
from what I saw at the pop up, like the activation at San Diego Comic Con, it sounds like um, they're investigating the death of I think like a football player or something like
Something,
that.
yeah, something like that. Because it is very Midwest. We see them in the Midwest. Some kind of looks like Oklahoma, Kansas ish, something like
Since
that.
on at the activation there was like a whiteboard and like they were
Hmm.
like speculating theories like and then there was a Gotham Gazette on the whiteboard
Mm.
from what I've heard. But now I'm totally forgot who's the person they said officially dies that they're like looking into the mystery of. And but it seems like someone that's like not a big character,
Okay.
which is so we'll see, we'll see. But I love True Detective. As I said before, it was one of those shows that I got into the first few episodes and it was like I don't know about this, and then once you get to that end of that first season, you're like, wow, this is like some of the
Yeah.
best like television ever. So if Green Lanterns has that same approach, I'm gonna be easy on it with the first few episodes and not judge until the season ends.
No, it
Even
makes sense. I
Penguin,
didn't. Hmm. Definitely
sorry,
Penguin. No,
no,
you're good. Like I'm really excited with this murder mystery that they got with this show. So I'm really excited to see how they're gonna really nail this.
yeah, I'm definitely digging Lanterns, and I mean I don't like the trailers as much as everyone else, but I am gonna wait out on it. Something I was surprised that there was a panel for because DC Studios said they were gonna skip entirely on the movie
Hmm.
side was Clayface. I was shocked there was even a Clayface panel, and the guy playing Clayface, I forgot his name. It's like Tom Reese something. He
Thomas
has like
Reese, I think that's his name. Yeah.
it's something like that. I feel like he has three names. He was there. Naomi Aki was not there, and then James Watkins, the director, was there. And then the trailer dropped a couple of days before that panel happened. What did you think of that new trailer?
I loved it. I mean, it's really hitting that horror vibe for Clayface, especially from what they're adapting from that animated show from Batman. It's hitting all the it's hitting all the right cylinders for me. Up from Joshua Thomas Reese Harris. Okay, thank you, Joshua. But yeah, I'm really digging what they got for this movie, man. I cannot wait. And it's kind of like if Lanterns is a hit, Clayface is a hit. DC is kind of back on right on track because the next one following would be Man of Tomorrow.
I'm so hyped for Clayface. As soon as I heard they were
Hmm.
gonna do a body horror movie that's like the fly meets
Yes.
the substance, I was like, I'm in. And then that first
And
trailer, well, first it was a teaser, and that
hmm
dropped, and I was like, oh my god, this is so disturbing. Just like the image of the bandages on his face, I'm like, I don't get so disturbed easily. But that trailer was so good, and I remember watching at the time, like, this might be the best trailer of the year, and I was just
it
it's
might
so
be.
disturbing and it really stuck with me. And this new trailer I don't like as much, but some people are calling that their favorite trailer of the year now. And you have him on the airplane trying to like cut his eye open. That imagery is so disturbing to the point where even the people on set said they had a hard time filming that scene. Like which is the fact that it's managing to disturb me in just the trailers, and not like a
Mm-hmm.
dumb disturb me, since like often you'll see like movies like Other Mommy, where they get you with just
Oh
dumb
yeah.
jump scares. And it's not that I think that movie looks bad, because I do like Jessica Chastain, so I might check it out. But it's so
Mm-hmm.
reliant on like jump scares, whereas this is just disturbing because of the body horror imagery is just so unsettling.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like hitting on that torture porn a little bit, but not really go full in depth. Like in some other horror movies, they love to go really hard on that. I think Clayface it's gonna touch that very slightly, especially with like scenes with the eye and everything like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they really nail the horror aspect and really can creep people out because I think you're gonna have to do that with Clayface.
I think the problem they have with Clayface is some of the imagery is going to be so disturbing that people who are
Mm-hmm.
not into horror but are DC fans might skip it. My friend, I
Mm-hmm.
have one friend in particular that I'm thinking of, who after the first teaser with him covered in the bandages was like,
Mm-hmm.
I might skip this. But I think he watched the second trailer surprisingly, even though he said that. But then I do think the pro is because it is so disturbing. There's people who are normally not DC fans who are going to be like, this looks like a really good horror movie, just the way that the substance is or the fly is, and are going to appreciate it for that.
Okay.
So,
Hopefully the movie turns your friend around.
yeah, we'll see. Since that's the problem is there's a lot of scaredy cats in the world who I used to be a scaredy cat, to be fair, with horror movies. I avoided it till I was an adult, and then now as an adult I love horror movies, and I still have a lot of catch up to do, but I have seen a lot of horror movies at this point that I can consider myself a fan of the genre now. Um, but yeah, so we got that Clayface panel. Um, no Man of Tomorrow updates. Supergirl, I think there were some toys dropped, but not much else
Yeah.
beyond that. You said you wanted to get into the animated stuff.
Yeah, because they did a panel for My Adventures with Superman season 3. Which are you caught up on the show? Have you been
I
watching?
don't watch it, but I saw Jack Quaid promoting
Hmm.
it.
Yes, he did promote it. There was a funny scene or a funny question someone asked him where, how does it feel going from the boys all the way to My Adventures with Superman, to where he said like it's like a filled nightmare dream and going it was from a nightmare filled horror show to like a dream of gumdrops and sunshine from the boys to My Adventures with Superman. So we got that. Um, Now, yeah, they're almost done with the season. I think they're about like 3 episodes left of this season. They haven't announced a season 4 yet, so hopefully they get an update soon. And I think they said it's all on James Gunn and Peter Safran to give the decision because it's being made by DC Studios, not by Warner Brothers Animation anymore. So yeah, just some updates on the show, how everything's going, and waiting on an update and kind of pressuring James Gunn to like, hey, give us another season.
I'm with you that it's such a drastic tonal shift going from like something that's R rated like The Boys to like an animated show like this. Completely different projects. Do you hear about Batman Nightfall?
I didn't hear a lot. I did see they dropped a trailer this week for Nightfall Part 1, which looks amazing. I cannot wait for that movie to come out. And I think it comes out next month too.
Okay, yeah, I didn't hear much about it, but I did know they dropped some news. And then I know Absolute Batman is in the work as a TV show, I believe, but
Yes.
all we got was toys. No news updates with that so far. Um,
There's 2 updates on the Absolute Universe they did drop. One, they showed a new look of Cheetah in the Absolute Wonder Woman comic, which looks crazy as hell. The Cheetah in that looks amazing. And we got an update of Cyborg, Absolute Cyborg, which again,
hmm,
I am loving what they're doing with the Absolute Universe and the way they made Cyborg look in this. Holy are we okay to curse swear
yeah,
on your
you
show?
can. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So far,
Holy,
they have Absolute Batman, Absolute Flash, and
mm-hmm.
then didn't they do Absolute Martian Manhunter as well.
So the absolutes that they got so far is Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter. I think they're gonna be doing Green Arrow, Catwoman pretty soon, and they just dropped a tease for Cyborg at this Comic Con.
Okay. So there you go. Yeah.
There you
Is there any other animated updates I'm forgetting about?
go. No, nothing really. My adventure with the Green Lantern, nothing was talked about on that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the animation side for DC.
This is
Oh,
Catwoman
Catwoman is
out.
out. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Joshua, keeping me honest. Appreciate that.
And of course, I mean, as I said before, they weren't focused on movies as much, so I knew we weren't
No.
going to get a Batman 2 update at all.
No, we
Um,
weren't.
yeah. Anything else to talk about DC wise? Or
No, that's pretty much I have on my end with DC.
okay, I'm gonna move on to Paramount since there's actually some stuff surprisingly.
Oh
Um,
yeah, they got some stuff.
let let do you want to talk Star Trek, Avatar, Ebenezer first?
Ooh, let's do Ebenezer, Star Trek, and we'll finish off with Avatar.
Okay, okay. Why do you want to start off with Ebenezer? I'm curious.
I mean, you got to start off with something that you may not be interested in, but you still got to eat it. It's your veggies. You got to eat your veggies first, and then you save your dessert for last.
Oh my, okay, I have a lot to say about Ebenezer. I love Ty West's X trilogy, X, Pearl, and
Mm-hmm.
Maxine. I love those movies. Why is this his next project after that is just mind-boggling to me. And the fact that he's working with Johnny Depp and this is his comeback movie, it's just there's just so much for my brain to process honestly with this movie. Yeah. Did you watch that
It's
trailer?
I did catch a little bit of the trailer. It's interesting. It's weird. Like I want to be for it, but at the same time, I'm not 100% in. Like, especially with Johnny Depp, I don't know what Johnny Depp are we gonna get. Because are we gonna get like the thespian Johnny Depp, or are we gonna get the kooky hoo hoo Jack Sparrow Johnny Depp sort of thing?
Or
Like he kind of
Wonka?
loses himself, or Wonka, yeah. And is he gonna lose himself being a character? Like
Yeah, that's
I
the
feel like with
thing.
him, yeah, I feel like with him he could really lose himself too much being Ebenezer.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get like Sweeney Todd or Wonka. That's the problem with this. Like,
Mm,
this has a gothic horror feel to it, and I know people were comparing it to like other Tim Burton movies, and they're like, "Wait, this isn't Tim Burton directing." And a lot of people who were not familiar with Ty West seem to be confused with that. And then the other thing is the
yeah,
fact that the trailer was like the guy who gave you Jack Sparrow, the guy who gave you Edward Scissorhands. And it's like, that's so misleading since it's not even the
yeah,
director of any of that stuff, but it's the actor. And I've never seen a trailer marketed that way before, but I guess they're like really trying to emphasize that this is Johnny Depp's comeback after just all the Amber Heard trial stuff. But I don't want to even get
yeah.
into that right now. That's too much. But the so yeah, I don't know. And then Rupert Grint and like Daisy Ridley are in this movie. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I love Christmas movies, and I'm not interested in this at all. I don't even like the Jim
It's kind
Carrey
of
Christmas Carol.
really wow. Okay,
It's too creepy
that's like
for
one of
me.
the yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
I feel like I
But it's
don't.
interesting with
Yeah.
this movie. Sorry, it's interesting with this movie. It's like you said. It's like from the guy who brought you this. It's not about the director. It's kind of like the actor. It's kind of like they're piggyback off what they did for Tom Cruise and Digger. Like
That's what
let's
other
listen off
people
his
were saying. I'm
right.
like,
Okay,
what?
it's not just me.
So that seems to be a trend right now that unfortunately
Maybe.
Digger started with Tom Cruise, and we're gonna see that. Like, remember this guy? You love him in this movie, in that
Hmm.
movie. Oh gosh. Okay. Anyways, This should be for me in theory. I love Christmas Carol. I've seen so many versions of Christmas Carol, animated, live action, TV
Hmm.
movies. Like I've seen a ton of Christmas Carol movies. So this should in theory be for me, and I love Ty West, but I'm just like, no, I don't want to see this at all. Like,
You know what's funny? This feels like a Paramount Plus streaming movie, not a theatrical movie.
yeah. And did you hear the pop-up installation they had for this movie?
I did not. No,
So
what was going on
So
over
they
there?
had installation in person, and it was like the
Hmm.
Scrooge
I,
building, and then they had Johnny Depp pop
yeah,
out of the building with actors,
I did
and
see
then he
that. Yeah.
crashed a random Collider
Hmm.
directors panel with Zach Kreger. Poor Zach Kreger's from like Weapons and
Yeah.
Barbarian. He was just talking about Resident Evil, and then Johnny Depp as Ebenezer in full makeup just totally crashes the stage and totally disrupts the panel. And they're literally about to show the Resident Evil trailer, and it here was just super awkward, the whole thing.
Yeah, that makes me worried about him being lost in that character. So who knows what that movie is going to be like when it comes out?
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. So you said you wanted to talk Star Trek next.
Yeah, let's do Star Trek next.
I think they were celebrating some anniversary this panel.
I think I think it's about like 60 years or something like that. I'm not
Yeah, I
wasn't
heard that as
100%
well.
sure. But they
And
brought out
then
George Takei in during like the Hall H panel, which that's great to see. Love seeing one of the veterans, the OG cast members showing up and getting the love.
they're promoting. Is it the latest season or the final season that they're promoting?
For Strange New Worlds.
Yeah,
I think it's the latest. Let me double check
but not
because
final.
I know not. I don't think it's the final because I know probably far off from that.
Okay. So yeah, that
Star
was.
Trek.
I like Star Trek. I haven't watched as much as I would have liked to, but I like Star
Mm-hmm.
Trek. I wish it was more relevant in the pop culture zeitgeist. I feel like people have fallen off, unfortunately, and it's a bummer to see. But
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like that was season 4 that they were presenting, and season 5 is going to be season 5. It's when they're ending it.
okay, yeah, I knew there was something. I was like, okay, so season 4 is the next season, but then season. Okay, I knew. I was like mixing up the details in my head. Okay, that makes sense now. Anything else to say about Star Trek, or do you want to just jump
Uh,
into Avatar?
yeah. Let's jump into Avatar because I got some things to say about this
Go.
Avatar universe that they got. So okay, we got kind of. Have you seen the new trailer for the Seven Havens show?
No, I heard about it though.
Okay, so I see a lot of people going off about how Korra is confirmed the worst Avatar because in the trailer it says that whatever happens from Korra's time to the new Avatar's time, there was a major catastrophe that happened, and it's because of the Avatar. And there's a shot of Korra walking out of the fire in her Avatar state, smiling and everything. So it gives a lot. It's given a lot of feel to those haters, but I am very interested in this show, The Seven Havens, because it's looking so intriguing. The animation style, it's has like a mix of the 2D and the 3D animation, and it's interesting how we're getting like because now we're on the Earthbender side of the Avatar cycle, and there's twins, and they haven't really specified on who. Or I think they have maybe specified the one girl with the wooden leg who is the Avatar, but how that twin aspect is going to be so far. So I'm really curious about how this new show is going to come out. And it's crazy how they're giving this show the release date for Avatar Aang that was supposed to come out in October, but they dropped it today, the movie, which have you seen the movie yet?
No, I heard about the whole Twitter leak, and then I heard that it was gonna
Yeah.
drop in theaters for some people, but then it's a limited release in theaters. It was supposed to be a wide, like a
Mm-hmm.
nationwide theatrical run, but then they decided, no, let's make it a Paramount Plus streaming movie, and then the whole Twitter leak thing happened. It's been such a mess.
It has been. And this movie, because I watched it literally last night, this movie plays as a theatrical movie. Like you can tell by how
That's
it
a
was.
bummer.
Yeah, it is. By the way it was animated to the way it was scored, this was meant for the theater. It was so beautifully made, dude. It pisses me off when something like that happens, especially for all the people involved. Because I have a feeling Paramount has absolutely no idea what to do with Avatar Studios. They were just like, "Oh, we
Yeah.
have this. Let's just we'll figure out what to do with it," and not actually giving the people running that studio a chance to really showcase what they got.
Paramount is just old Hollywood, very traditional, unfortunately, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like there are probably a lot of older execs that are just out of touch with how big Avatar is as a franchise. Like, it's one of the biggest animated shows of all time. Like, even
Absolutely,
if you don't
and
watch
it's
it, you have to admit that.
no, absolutely. It's like it's literally one of Western animation's best attempt at an anime, and just nailing it on all cylinders. It's the potential is right there for them, and they're missing the ball with every pushback, with every cancellation, with like several animators announced that they're leaving the studio to do other things. And it's just like it's getting frustrating how they just don't know how to run.
There's so much potential with that universe because there's comics,
Hmm.
and then also it's like, isn't Legend of Korra like set years later after
Yeah,
the events of
it's
the Last
I
Airbender?
believe it's set. Yeah, it's set after the first show. It's about maybe 60 to 80 years after, I believe. I think
Yeah, I
so.
thought it was like almost 100 years or something like that. I didn't know the exact number. So, my point is, you could just do another, like, almost a century later with a
Hmm.
new series, and yet they're not doing that. I don't know, man. Yeah. It's unfortunate to see, like, as a bystander,
Hmm.
as, like, I know so many people who love this franchise and love this IP, and then just see just like Paramount just not know what to do with it. It's a bummer, honestly.
It really is, man. It's just hopefully they get a little more power to do what they want, and this merger kind of collapses on them. So they're not worried about Warner Brothers people coming in and making everything more difficult. They could just focus on the one thing. But
Did
I
you
it's
recent
frustrating.
delay news for Paramount, the merger?
Yeah,
Or,
I think they delayed it to June of next year.
yeah, exactly. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the stars for the Avatar Aang movie showed up, and I think there
Hmm.
was merch that dropped as well. Um, and I know toys dropped for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think Mando is the name of the toy company that people were
I
freaking
think
out
so. Yeah.
about. Um, I I was confused. I was like, did Street Fighter have a panel? Since I saw David Dasmalchian was at Comic Con, and I was like,
No, they didn't have a panel, but he was probably doing other things because that dude is
yeah,
so busy. He does a lot of voice and indie stuff, so maybe he was just there for another panel.
yeah. I figured since it's probably like with Michelle Yeoh for the Blade Runner 24. Not just, I keep saying 49. Because it's Blade Runner 2049, and then Blade Runner
Hmm.
2099. So for
Yeah.
2099, Michelle Yeoh was being asked about Crazy Rich Asians and like
Hmm.
what's the latest update with that. So he probably was being asked like, oh, what's the deal with Street Fighter? So
Oh, probably,
since
yeah.
that's coming out soon, so I was a bit confused since I think that's a Paramount property as well.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's Paramount.
Um, Sorry, was there anything else you wanted to say with Avatar, Aang, or like Paramount in general?
I could give like a quick review of the movie.
Yeah, sure, do that. Why
Quick
not?
little, yeah, quick little non-spoiler review. Absolutely, like I said, absolutely gorgeously animated. The score was orchestrated perfectly. It was fun being back in this world of Avatar with Team Avatar in this time period because they're about 25 to 30 at this point. Some critiques. I wish this movie was about 10 to 15 more minutes longer, just so we have a little more fleshed out story and characters, because it feels a little bit too underdeveloped. And there were certain story points that were just a little too obvious, a little too on the nose. So those kind of like my gripes with it. But at the end, I enjoyed and having a lot of fun with it. I will probably, if I had to score it, I'll probably give it a solid 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5.
Okay, interesting. It's a stacked year for animated movies. I've gone on
It
that
is.
rant multiple times in multiple live streams. That best anime. I feel, if I heard correctly, I think they're trying to push this for Oscars, but I don't know if they're gonna get in because I think it's too stacked this year. So we'll see.
It'd be interesting, yeah, because they put this in theaters in LA and New York to get that Oscar consideration to meet the qualifications. I don't know if I would say if it's a Oscar nominated movie because we still got a lot more movies to come out. I definitely had fun enjoying the movie, but I wouldn't say it's an Oscar nominated movie.
Since Disney has Toy Story 5 and Hoppers and Hexed,
Mm-hmm.
and then Netflix has Ray Gun, um,
Oh yeah.
that that other animated movie I'm forgetting, and then In Waves, and then there's literally a new Shaun the Sheep. There's Leica has Wildwood. There's Tangles, and I feel like there's other movies I'm blanking on right now. It's just such a
Forgotten
stacked
Island.
year. Oh yes, I'm so hyped for Forgotten Island. Yes, I knew I was forgetting a big one. Yes, that was at Comic Con, and
Yeah.
as well apparently, the voice cast was at Comic Con. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know if they have a chance against all of those. I'm excited
Yeah.
as an animated fan, but I know it's going to be a tough race for sure. Um, so we can move on to the next studio if you're okay with that,
Let's do it.
or just company rather than studio. Nintendo, I know dropped some toys. There was like Legend of Zelda. I think there was some Lego Pokemon stuff. I saw the Lego Donkey Kong game. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
like a replica of the original Donkey Kong game. That looked really cool. No Legend of Zelda movie updates. Um,
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit.
yeah, people keep asking about that Legend of Zelda. I think a lot of people are nervous because it's live action rather than animated. We'll see how that
Mm-hmm.
turns out. And then I heard there was a Splatoon pop up. But did you hear anything Nintendo wise beyond that or no?
No, nothing beyond that. Just like you said, just saw all the games and everything else that we're doing, the Lego Pokemon stuff. But other than that, nothing newsworthy.
Okay, so we can move on to Sony then if you're okay with it.
Yeah, let's go to
Uh,
Sony.
okay, we got Resident Evil. Are you a
Oh
fan of
yeah.
that or no? You are? Okay.
um, so I'm not like deep into the Resident Evil lore, but watching the trailer, I'm psyched. I'm hyped. Give me anything Zach Krieger does after what he did with weapons. Sign me up, man. Sign me up.
He's reunited with Austin Abrams. Austin Abrams played the stoner guy in Weapons,
Mm-hmm.
and he also has Whalefall coming out soon. He seems to be a hot commodity. Wasn't he in Euphoria? I could be wrong. I think he was in Euphoria.
That sounds about right. I think so.
I know him from This Is Us. That was my introduction to him, since he plays a
Mm,
sleazy boyfriend in that show.
right.
But most people seem to know him from Euphoria and now Weapons. But Hollywood seems to be pushing him this year, so we'll see.
Yeah, he's
Um,
just one of those guys that Hollywood just sees like, no, let's get a little more of him. Get a little more of him, but not too much.
so what did you think of that Resident Evil trailer?
I liked it. I'm really intrigued. Again, I wasn't the biggest Resident Evil fan before it. Then didn't really know much about it, but this got me intrigued. I'm a little more curious about what they got planned.
Yeah, Zach Kreger keeps like repeating, this is not a direct like adaptation of the characters from the game, but it is something that feels like it could be set in the universe of Resident Evil
Hmm.
and capture the vibe. It seems to be like a very straightforward story from what he's saying. at Comic-Con and elsewhere, where it's just getting from to point A to point B. That's what I think he said.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I feel like he's already being bombarded by fans, like, oh no, you're not adapting it and doing the characters that I love, kind of thing. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
in every interview that I've seen him do so far, even before San Diego Comic-Con, he's like defending his choices before the movie's even out. So we'll see
Yeah.
if fans end up liking it or not. Yeah.
It's funny how like the fans will just be like, "This isn't what I wanted. What is this?" Without even seeing the movie or anything like that. It's like, let's give a guy a chance. Come on now.
To be fair, I've been that annoying fan in the past sometimes, and then sometimes I'm mature enough to be like, okay, don't do that. But it just depends. Um, so that was one of the big Sony projects, and then the Indian blockbuster Ramayana. They keep hyping that up.
Yeah,
I heard about it.
I heard. Keep hearing about that.
I heard about it at CinemaCon too. They were at CinemaCon. They're really trying to push this as like a Hollywood release, which is interesting. And they had the stars show up for CinemaCon and for Comic Con now. So we'll see. I think there may have been a trailer that dropped. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, they're really promoting this movie and trying to make it like the next RRR kind of thing in the US.
Yeah.
So we'll see what ends up happening. And then I know K-pop Demon Hunters had a lot of toys this year. Since it came out last year, but they didn't immediately drop a lot of their merch. And then now this year they're going full off at Comic-Con. So yeah.
Which makes sense because yeah, you still gotta ride those coattails.
I think it started last year because I went to New York Comic Con, which is like in October, and they had like a giant statue figurine of the cat in Funko Pop form that I took a photo with. So I think that's when they started being able to drop toys. But this is the first, I think, San Diego Comic Con where they're probably able to like fully embrace the K-pop Demon Hunter toys. And there's allegedly sequels in the works. I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening with that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they got.
I think, yeah, I feel like we've covered everything Sony, whether it be Spider-Man or even Legend of Zelda, I think is Sony, and then Resident Evil and Ramayana. Anything else you want to say with that or no?
No, nothing much on that.
Okay, let's get to everything else. Since there's too much that I just put a miscellaneous category.
Miscellaneous.
What's a big thing we haven't talked about yet that you're like, I really want to get into?
Let's get into the Forgotten Island because I know they talked about they showed a screening for that movie and they did a panel, and from some of the reviews I've been reading and watching, this is gonna be a special movie. This is going to be.
No, continue.
No, like this is going to be like a special movie that Universal has in their pocket. That, oh man, I'm trying to remember what one person said. Like, it's like it's gonna be. I don't think it's a prize hit, but it's gonna be probably in the realm of the Wild Robot. How emotional it's going to be, how amazing it is, how the story is kind of like on taking a play on Filipino folklore. So everything I'm hearing about this, all the reviews and everything, I'm just so excited for this movie.
Yeah, since CinemaCon, like I have a release calendar of like every movie coming out in the year that I've been doing for years, and I always add to that Google Doc. So I had Forgotten Island on my movie doc, but I didn't know what it was until CinemaCon in March or so. And then they did that early screening, but the animation wasn't fully complete yet. So I'm curious if this screening at Comic-Con, was the animation complete this time?
From what I've read, that's what they're saying, that it was fully completed. They saw the movie, and it was again something that they all love.
Yeah, I hear it's like the best of Pixar. Like I know it's DreamWorks as a studio, but I hear it's like
it has Pixar. Yeah, it has that Pixar vibes.
So I'm very excited for it, and to for sure. It's definitely one of my not most anticipated, since there's way too many movies coming out in 2026 at this point, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's kind of overwhelming, honestly. Um, I'm trying. I guess we can stay in the realm of animation.
Yeah.
Um, I think Coyote versus Acme had a panel.
Yeah, they did. I'm still intrigued. I'm intrigued by it. I'm not overly excited for it per se. I'm glad the movie's getting put out. I'm glad some of them are actually getting the recognition for the movie. The trailers haven't really done it for me. And I'm usually like a big old school fan like that, but I don't know. I don't know
I
why
haven't
the trailers haven't
seen
been
a
hitting for me.
single trailer yet. I like the
Mm,
writer who's attached to it. Her name is Sammy
yeah.
Birch, and she wrote May December, and then she wrote
Mm,
the screenplay for a movie called Late Fame that's coming out, I believe, next month. But I saw it last year, and I thought it was a really good screenplay. So I thought the fact that she's attached to Coyote versus Acme is really interesting, since it's unlike those other two projects, which are more like
right.
prestige indie films. So that like play at festivals. So this was super interesting this year attached to it. And there's of course the whole Warner Brothers tax write-off of it all. So people are like, was it written off for a valid reason? And this movie is gonna ultimately flop, or will people surprisingly show up because they like Looney Tunes? I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and it does have John Cena and Will Forte. I love those guys. You can't go wrong with them, especially in a comedy aspect that this is in. So yeah, hopefully the movie surprises us and really just makes Warner Brothers see, oh yeah, why did we write this off? We should have just fully went on board with it.
I think John Cena was also there for Apple TV for the Matchbox movie as
Yeah.
well. But getting back to Coyote versus Acme, animated movies do well because like families often need movies to show their kids, honestly. And
Hmm.
like that's why if you look at like the biggest hits at the box office last year, a lot of them were like animated and slash or kids movies. Like Zootopia was one of the highest grossing movies of the year last year, I think, and
Yep.
like I know Naza 2 was huge in China. There's other anime movies and kids friendly movies that I'm like forgetting right now that did really good last year at the box office. But yeah, so I'm not fully ruling out Coyote versus Acme quite yet. Um, the thing is, like, Minions and Monsters didn't do as good as they thought it was going to this year. However, that release was so close to Toy Story 5 coming out that I think that may
Yeah.
have impacted it doing as well at the box office as it normally does. So I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening with Coyote versus Acme. But I'm trying to think if there's any other animated projects. There's like animated TV shows, like Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, but I don't really like
Yeah.
Adventure Time has a spin-off, I think, but I don't really watch that. And then I think Regular
Yeah, me,
Show
me neither.
and stuff. So we can get back to like I heard there was like a Garfield game or something. I was super confused. I was like, what? I was like, why is that at Comic Con? But we can get back to like, well, is Star Wars Detours an animated show? Have you ever heard of that before?
I never heard of that particular thing of Star Wars. No.
So what happened is yeah, it is an animated show. So Seth Green at San Diego Comic Con, I don't know why he was at San Diego Comic Con this year, but he teased that he had a show, a Star Wars show that was supposed to drop years ago. It was announced back in 2012, and it was I don't think they ever aired it, and it was
Hmm.
but it was completed, and it's called Star Wars Detours, and they never released it. And he teased that at the George Lucas Museum, they're finally gonna show, they're gonna, you can see episodes at the museum,
Oh,
which is
okay,
so
interesting.
interesting. Since I've
It's
never heard
it's
of it in
funny.
my
It's
life.
If Seth Green's involved, is this going to be like in the realm of Robot Chicken? Because that's kind of like his style when it comes to like comedy and animation.
Yeah, it said it was kind of like parodying the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
that'd be
totally
fun. That'd be
sounds
interesting.
like it goes against what Filoni does, which is probably why it
Yeah,
ultimately didn't air. Because
makes
Filoni takes
sense.
everything so seriously, and the approach that Seth Green would take sounds more like Spaceballs, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like Seth Green. He's a Star Wars fan. He loves it, and he knows what buttons to push to make fun of it. Because like, I mean, if you can't make fun of yourself, you can't laugh at yourself. Then what's the point?
Yeah. So that was like the last of the animated stuff that I heard about, and I thought it was so interesting that he teased that for something that almost came out over a decade ago,
Yeah.
almost 15 years ago at this point, is pretty crazy. Um, we can get into some of the live action stuff. There's
Yeah.
not too much news wise, but I saw Percy Jackson had a panel.
Mm.
I was a huge fan of Percy Jackson, but I'm not caught up. But what I thought was interesting about that panel is two of the three stars were there, but not all of them.
Hmm.
So the guy who plays Percy and the guy who plays Grover was there, but Annabeth, I think is the name of the character. I haven't read
Yeah.
books in a bit, but I'm pretty sure that's her name. She was not there because she's filming Cheetah Girls right now, and
That's right. She's a cheetah girl.
the guys were making videos of like, you could tell they just didn't know what to do without her at the panels, and they were just
Yeah.
very awkward from what I saw, and I was like, this is weird, but okay. So I saw that was interesting. I think they dropped a new trailer for the new season. I know Pan's Labyrinth was celebrating an anniversary, and
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro was there. Um, the A24 movie Onslaught was allegedly there, but
Mm.
I didn't hear people talk about that panel too much. But it has such a good cast. If you haven't heard of this movie, look up the cast for Onslaught. It's
I'm gonna look it
pretty.
up.
It's a pretty good cast for an action movie. Um, so trying to think. I think House of the Dragon had a screening. Walking Dead, they were promoting the new season. As I said before, Nathan Fillion was there for Lanterns, but also The Rookie. Uh, Vampire Lestat was there. And I think Eli Roth was there for Ice Cream Man. And then,
Which okay, I am intrigued by that movie. I'm not really a big Eli Roth fan either, but the concept of that, I'm on board on that. I'm really interested to see how he pulls that one off.
yeah, that was another panel that they had. And then apparently there's a Green Day movie called Nimrods.
Really?
And I saw Mason Thames was there to promote that. And it was really funny because Dave Franco was also there for Forgotten Island since he's apparently part of the voice cast. And I saw a video
Right.
of like Mason, of like David Franco just popping in to say hi to Mason Thames. Since they both have a movie, I think it's called Idiots. I think the original title was called Shitheads. So they
Ah.
just seem to have a very friendly dynamic. But I'm trying to think what else. There was a lot of game stuff. I don't watch a lot of. I don't. I'm not a big gamer, so there was like a ton of video game news. Um, for stuff that I'm not like super duper familiar with. I think, but the one thing I am familiar with is Grand Theft Auto 6, and I saw Dan Houser was there to talk about Grand Theft Auto, which is highly anticipated. Probably going to be arguably one of the biggest things to come out of this year, money wise,
Yeah. If it comes out.
if it comes out. That's funny. Yeah, that's been the running joke. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like we covered everything. Is there
Yeah,
any
pretty much.
other?
Like there There was a WWE panel that they had that Danhausen, CM Punk, and AJ Lee was involved with, which they, from what I saw, they stole the show. Danhausen was on fire. He usually is. I think they usually do a panel for like Mattel when they're introducing their new figures. AEW had a panel. We saw Kyle Fletcher get into it with Bandito and Brody Lee. Yeah, other than that, nothing like too. I think nothing else too newsworthy or eye attention, eye grabbing.
So now, since we have some extra time left that we covered everything, do you want to make D23 predictions for like
Ooh,
Marvel?
D23 predictions. I think we will definitely get our first trailer for Vision Quest. I know that for sure. I don't think we'll get a trailer for Daredevil season 3, but I think we'll get some casting announcements for Daredevil season 3. Uh, Something season, because they did confirm a season 2 for Marvel Zombies, so something like that will be popping up. Wonder Man season 2. Man, maybe we'll get an official announcement of Nova then, because again, they did a lot for Marvel panel here, but they didn't really do too much. So I can definitely see them maybe holding off Nova for D23. Mm, May X Men 97 season 3 announcement probably, well, not announcement, maybe some sneak peeks. But maybe we'll get a little more X Men casting in D23. Maybe they're holding off on that.
Yeah, we'll see how Spider-Man Brand New Day goes out, and if who Sadie Sink is, if she's Jean Grey, or if the problem is we can't trust Marvel anymore. When they say,
Nope.
no, this thing is not really the case. Like, no, I'm Andrew Garfield and I'm not in Spider-Man No Way Home. That was a complete lie. However, them being like,
Oh,
no, Taylor Swift is not Dazzler, that ended up being true. She wasn't Dazzler in Deadpool and Wolverine. So the problem now is they keep saying, no, Sadie Sink isn't Jean Grey, but it's like, is she and they're lying? Or is what they're saying true? Because it is a Sony property, it would be kind of weird to set up X-Men in a Sony property.
it would be,
I don't
yeah.
know. We'll see.
It is a Sony property, but still a Marvel movie. So it would be weird, but wouldn't be weird at the same time.
Yeah, so if she is Jean Grey, I feel like we might get more X Men casting.
Yeah.
Um, do you have any X Men casting, like predictions, or even not predictions, but just like people who you would theoretically want, even if it might not end up happening?
I do like the Adam Driver as Sinister casting. Not much as Magneto, but him as Sinister really does make sense.
I
You don't like Adam Driver?
No, it's not that I don't like Adam Driver. I just my thing with Magneto is a lot of people are
Hmm.
like he doesn't need to be Jewish. Just casts a random person like Denzel as Professor X, and then Giancarlo Esposito as Magneto, and then replace it with like another genocide, like Rwandan genocide. I feel that feels kind of icky to me. I know not
Ye-
everyone else will agree, but I'm like, I'm mixed and I'm half Jewish, but then I'm also like
mhm.
of African descent, and I'm just like, that's weird. That's weird. I'm like, what? I'm like, those are two completely different identities for me. So
Yeah,
to
no,
just be
I
like,
get it. That makes
it's
sense.
replaceable is just such a weird thought for me. But and so I kind of prefer them casting a Jewish actor for Magneto, but like I don't know. I don't even know if Adam Driver is Jewish, but it seems like he's more likely to be Sinister than Magneto. There's so many names
Yeah.
being thrown around for all the X-Men. It's crazy. It's so beyond crazy. I don't know
And the thing
what.
with Magneto is we don't have to do him right away. We can save Magneto for another movie. He doesn't
Yeah,
have to be the first villain or not even a villain, a protagonist.
yeah. That's how they should do that. They should make him a protagonist initially, really
Hmm.
set up and establish the dynamic with yes, really set up
Charles.
the dynamic with Professor X and Magneto, and then build it up. Since I feel like First Class did that well before
Yes, they
they
really did.
turned on each other, so I they really need to do that right, I think. But so yeah, we'll see who ends up being considered for the X-Men, and that's a prediction for D23 for me, since we didn't get that for this Comic Con. If Sadie Sink does end up being Jean Grey for sure. Um, like you said, Vision Quest trailer will probably drop before then, because otherwise you're marketing your show way too late. Because
Pretty
what's the
much.
release date for Vision Quest
It
at this
was
point?
October 14th.
Yeah, so they need to drop that trailer next month if
It's
they
the
have an
right time
October
too.
release.
Yeah, August to and it's like August, September, October. Yeah, that seems like the right time to drop a trailer.
Did you mention your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
I did not. Thank you for reminding me about that one. That season 2 is going to be interesting because I just remember. Oh my god, you just unlocked everything I remember about that. Because I think we're getting Spider Gwen showing up in this season.
Yeah, so we'll probably get more info about that at D23 as well. Um, More details on Born Again in the Defenders in season
Oh
3.
yeah,
Um, Marvel Zombies, like you said, and X-Men 97, like you said. And maybe some more info on that dumb Avengers Endgame encore nonsense.
you are not on
Um,
board on that. What are you?
because it's such a gimmick, the whole infinity vision of it all. It's just,
Yeah.
it's, okay. I knew they were going to do a re-release. They always do a re-release. When Endgame came out, they did an Infinity War re-release. But
Hmm.
the fact that they're using this in like, we're launching Infinity Vision, and we're gonna have, and people are speculating about this 7 minutes of footage, and it's most likely just the first 7 minutes of the movie, which they've been doing a ton lately. They're just confusing people and making people speculate for no reason, and I'm just, yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
valid concerns. That's
yeah, Wonder Man season 2. We might get an update
mm,
by then. We'll
we
see.
should be getting an update. Yeah.
Everything else outside of Marvel, I have no clue what they're gonna
Yeah,
announce.
maybe a Hex trailer, maybe another Hex trailer
Oh,
come out.
true. Good point. Star Wars wise, I don't even know what they would theoretically drop.
Mm, it might be they might do an exclusive for Starfighter, not released to the public, a trailer.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I could see them doing something like that. Ah, man, it's hard to tell with Star Wars. I'll be surprised if they announce season 4 of Mandalorian and Grogu. I'd be surprised if they go back on
I
that.
don't know if that's happening at this point.
Yeah, let me see. Like,
They really
yeah,
need
other
to
than
workshop
Starfire.
that.
Oh, Maul season 2, maybe more info on that.
I was thinking about that since
Yeah.
Maul season 1 people really liked and thought was really
Oh,
good. So it's like we might get
I
an
love
update on
that.
that. But Starfighter is a
We
good
might.
bet. I'm
Yeah.
excited for Mia Goth as a Star Wars villain, especially after
Yes.
seeing her in the Odyssey. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see. Did you watch Andor?
I did. Yes.
I want her like she has the potential to be like a Daedra kind of character. Like Daedra's such a good
Ooh, that's a good
um,
comparison. Yeah.
and it's since Mia Goth is such a good actress, I'm like if they
Mm-hmm.
like write her character correctly, and allegedly before Mia Goth was cast, Mikey Madison was cast or was considered for the role, but
Yeah.
then turned it down possibly. So we'll see if Starfighter is a good movie. And I heard about the whole Tom Cruise recording, like directing a scene when he was on set.
Yeah. Which is like it's just like, hey Tom, you busy? No. What you want to do this? Sure. Shoot your scene. That's it. He went home.
I'm trying to think any other
We have.
D23
There's also the ninth.
predictions.
There's the ninth Jedi show that we should be getting, the new anime that they're doing from Star Wars
Okay.
Visions.
I
So I think
think,
we may.
yeah. No,
I think
continue.
we probably should be getting more info on that.
for sure. Outside of Star Wars, they might be promoting some of like their Disney Channel movie
Oh yeah.
projects. Like Cheetah Girls is filming right now, so maybe we'll get more on Cheetah Girls. Maybe we'll get more on that Camp Rock movie that's in the works. I can't think what else is going on right now, but those come to the top of my head.
Just to piggyback off of Star Wars, Ahsoka season 2, because that's coming out
Oh,
in 2027.
true. Yeah, how
Yeah,
could I
I
forget
think we'll
about that?
definitely get a trailer for that. We'll
And
definitely
it
get a
seems
trailer for
like
that.
Hayden Christensen has a bigger role this time around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really love that World Between Worlds episodes in Ahsoka season one. That was probably
Yeah.
the best episode of the whole season. That's the main reason I can't hate on that show. I know, like, some people are like, it's too inside baseball for casual fans, but it was just so
Yeah,
good.
it's
That
a
Clone Wars
it's a
episode.
little bit. It's a little. I'll admit there is a little of inside baseball, but I'm on the fence of there's times where I really like the show, and there's times where like, yeah, I see some of the shortcomings on it. But I'm really excited because this the guy who they got for Thrawn, loved him in Rebels, voicing him. I think he can really do a great
Mads
job
Mikkelsen's
as
brother.
yeah. Oh God, what's his name? What's his name?
Is it Lars Mikkelsen? Could be wrong.
There it is. That's why you're a Schmodown host.
That's funny. Um, yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening at D23 next month. But I think those are some safe bets for now, at least. And we can wrap up this Comic Con coverage as well. Unless you have any
Yeah.
last thoughts to say before I do that.
Uh, no, just was really excited for what Marvel had to show, and cautiously optimistic still because you got to be like that, especially with Marvel nowadays. Hoping Vision Quest is a banger. Hoping Doomsday is proves us all wrong and just sets up for more things to come right before Secret Wars. Next week, Spider-Man: Brand New Day comes out, so I'm really excited for that. And yeah, that's all. That's all I got for it.
We should do a quick recap, like a thumbs up or a thumbs down or in the middle for each studio. So Marvel, I think delivered.
Yeah.
Thumbs up for me.
Yep. Thumbs up.
Apple TV, I don't think anyone was talking about. I give it.
I give the middle. Yeah, I give the middle because I wasn't really excited for it, and then whatever they showed, I wasn't disappointed. So meh.
Amazon. I would say, it's tricky.
It's like yeah, it's like middle to it's like the middle between middle to thumb.
It's
It's like
so
yeah,
tricky because I think I have to give it mid because even though I liked what I heard from Blade Runner 2099,
mm-hmm.
outside of that, I feel like it wasn't talked about much. Like the fact that no one talked about Carrie is not good. So I
Yeah,
give them mid.
yeah.
DC, even though it was a quiet presence, I give them a thumbs up. I feel like they
Yeah,
delivered. They
yeah.
they did more
Well,
than I was expecting since they said they weren't going to do anything
yeah,
for their movies, and that was kind of a lie since we heard some Clayface news. So I think
pretty
thumbs
much.
up for them. Paramount, oh God, Ebenezer. I think for that alone, and then the mess of Avatar, I have to unfortunately give it a thumbs down.
That's valid. That's a valid rating for that. I'll give it. I'm in the down to middle, only because the show Seven Havens has potential. It has potential.
Okay. Nintendo, I mean, cool toys, but not much else outside of that. So I give it mid because they delivered on
Yeah,
the toy front. Everything else, no. Sony, I mean, Resident Evil delivered. Ramayana has people curious. Technically, you could say Spider-Man. They teased some
yeah,
stuff with Sony, with Spider-Man Brand New Day. With, I'll give it a mid. That might be a hot take
yeah.
rather than a thumbs up. Because I feel like not much new news with Spider-Man Brand New Day, really, besides the score stuff. And then I'm not a big Resident Evil person. And Ramayana interests me, but there's some stuff like Clayface or
Yep.
like Doomsday that interests me like way more in regard, or not Doomsday. I would say even like Ghost Rider and Black Panther 3 that
Mm.
delivered more on the announcement front. Um, and then yeah, miscellaneous. There's too many studios to cover with that, so we can just wrap
Too
up.
much to cover. Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
So I hope everyone had fun listening to Sam and I discuss San Diego Comic Con. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, leave comments sharing your thoughts, especially what news from San Diego Comic Con excited you the most. If you'd like to see more content from me, I post short movie reviews on this YouTube channel as well as TikTok and Instagram. I do out of theater reactions, and I will definitely drop an out of theater reaction for Spider-Man Brand New Day next week when it comes out. The next Red Carpet Talk live stream will be next Saturday covering Spider-Man Brand New Day, since that's a huge release. And please let me know what other topics you want me to cover next in the comments below. Sam, is there anything you'd like to plug real quick?
Yeah, just head over to my YouTube channel. I do interviews there. I do reactions. Currently reacting to X-Men 97 right now, season 2. I'm also doing One Piece, so check me out on that. Follow me on all my social medias. I'm on SamMacias5 on Instagram and TikTok, SamMac55 on Twitter, and yeah, just make sure you follow Sam too. All right, watch all her out of the theater reactions. She does a really good job. Really enjoyed her theories and takes on movies and everything like that. And yeah, just show some love, show some support. I'm not like Roka where I'm demanding you to. I'm just like, show some love.
Okay, so bye everyone.